and welcome.
My name is Eva.
And this is Frank. And, yeah, I know we haven't recorded in a while. A lot has been going on. Good things. Good things have been happening. But we figured we'd, just to get back into the mood of recording, play a little Daggerfall Unity, the Unity version of Daggerfall. That sounds smarter in my head. Okay, so there's just a couple things I want to... Yeah, I guess it's the place. Okay. So, content warning, nudity at unexpected places.
We'll see if we need to censor it. We'll find out, I guess.
Yep. Okay, so we will not be starting from the beginning, because I feel like that's where a lot of Let's Players start and end. So we're going to actually go post-game.
Yep.
This is another character, but we're going to switch to our good Wood Elf. If you've been following me on the one forum, you'll recall him.
Yep, this is one that we got most of the way through the main quest in vanilla Daggerfall, and then we reached a point where the next main quest refused to trigger, and we couldn't figure out why. So we were thankfully able to import our save into the Unity version, which let us actually complete the game.
Yep. So So there's a couple things that will be discussed, and part of these are going to be corrections on my part to my little review, which I'll post in the description. First and foremost, well, I guess, firstly, let's take a look at our good Ellwood.
Alright.
Alright.
Take off that hat.
Yep. He is a Wood Elf Huntsman.
And anybody who's familiar with Daggerfall is looking and saying, this isn't the usual UI.
Nope.
There's way too many weapons
Thank
in the slots.
God. So, among many changes...
Also, potions can stack now.
Yeah, potions can stack. They didn't back in the old days. Actually, let's take a look at our wagon. See all those ingredients? Notice how they're stacking? The original, it didn't.
And this was admittedly kind of a pain.
So yeah, in case you couldn't tell, yes, this is despite being an alpha, is a massive improvement on basically every level. Some things aren't quite finished yet, but more in this version of the game was finished than in the original retail version. So, we're going to look at a dungeon.
Let's do a quest.
Yes. Not here.
No? Don't want to do a night quest?
Not really. Yeah, I guess we can...
I was going to say, since one of the mods here allows you to select specific quests for each guild.
Oh, yeah. So, Crazy Mercenary. Now, let's see. Now, personally, I think the artifact is absolutely despicable because it requires you to have a child. We're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to well, I guess we'll see how exactly this works. Basically, the way this has worked before is you kill a lich, it gives you some hints, and eventually you steal from the Mage's Guild, which is just better in my mind.
This character, by the way, you'll notice that he doesn't have much of a magic stat.
Oh, yes. Actually, one thing we point out, let's see. See, usually there's a blue bar here. Instead, there's a stamina, which, those unfamiliar with the game, just kind of slowly goes down until you rest, and then health. That is because, and actually we can take a look at the advantages here. History. Okay, so rundown. So this is a huntsman. So here's what I picked: immunity paralysis. Let's see. You can't use short blade or hand to hand, though I can still swing my fist. So I don't know exactly how that works. Bonus hit to basically undead, Daedra, and humanoid, which also includes monsters. So, light-powered magic, unable to use magic. Long story short, I can't use magic.
Effectively.
Let's see. Unable to regenerate spell points, which is also fun, and can't use most shields. Now, those who definitely have the mindset of Elder Scrolls game, how you go through without magic, and I can't understand your point, but, well, I got through the main quest as this character. So
That works.
So
My main thing is, all my favorite quests are in the Mage's Guild, and it feels like you lock yourself out of that, but you know what? Whatever works for your playthrough.
Yeah, so as you see, strength, agility, and speed have been maxed out. We can actually take a look at the skills. Alright, so I've kind of given up on Blunt because I have a Daedric Katana and everything kind of loses after you have that. You know, archery, critical hit, running, which has transcended mankind, dodging, which good luck leveling that up, stealth against my greater wishes, because you can't really control that, jumping, though I think one of the things unfinished in this version of the game is that jumping right now isn't responding like as it should with the skill. Like, I think I can jump at max capacity at the moment. Let's see. Backstabbing, which just kind of goes hand in hand with stealth.
A lot of these things I think will show through the process of actually playing.
Yeah, and Mercantile, based on
sell stuff.
Yeah, based on necessity. Orcish, because, well, I've killed a few orcs. And so on and so forth. So, with that in mind...
Did you accept the quest?
No. So, let's do that. Let's see.
The lost artifact.
Okay. A lich is raising an army of undead. We need someone to go and put a stop to it. Brave indeed. Castle Woodcroft. Okay. 49 days. That'll be plenty of time. Okay.
I was gonna say, so that's one of the new quests added through the mod, right?
Nope. That's
an original one?
Yep. There are other... Two the quest packs credit. It does add a Fire's Guild quest that allows you to get artifacts.
Okay.
Which, again... Alright, I've said my piece on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And look at that draw distance. Let's see, there are a few mods on here. The ones that adds hills and stuff to make, frankly, the overworld a lot more interesting. And... Let's see, a couple others.
It's a matter of, it technically is possible in vanilla Daggerfall to walk from one end of the continent to the other, if you have a lot of time and nothing to do.
Now, there is a mod in here called Sky Shards, which is basically, you find them throughout the land. I've been playing with this for a while, and I still haven't found one. There are like 160 of them. But
what do they do?
I don't know.
Gives you a reason to go wander aimlessly, though?
Pretty much. And, by the way, you are microscopic compared to this, and even more so compared to this view. And it can take you a few minutes, and I'm gonna just probably demonstrate a little later. But now, one of the things I want to correct myself on, and we'll go over that as we go through the dungeon, is that the dungeons were completely random. This isn't entirely true.
Let's go inside and do things while we talk about.
Yes. So.
This is amusingly... Technically, castles in this game are dungeons, so what you're listening to is technically castle music.
It is special. A lot of ghosts in here. Well, I mean, we did say Army of the... Ooh, nice. Anyways. So actually, one of the things where'd it go? Oh, part of the picture. Huh.
What were you looking for?
I know I got another artifact, but now it doesn't seem to exist.
Huh.
Or no.
Which one are you thinking of? There was Christmas.
Yeah, it was Christmas. I've had that. But anyway. probably one I'm not going to use anymore. But it's not like that. I know it's not. Okay.
I remember bows being kind of a pain in vanilla Daggerfall, but I also lacked hand-eye coordination since I was playing it as a little kid.
Well, to be fair, your character probably also lacked the hand-eye coordination.
Probably,
At the very
yes.
beginning. Alright, so, actually, we already hit a large room, and yeah, we'll see that this is a block.
In its own right,
In
yeah.
its own right. So, let's continue exploring on. We have plenty of time. 49 days is definitely not constraining at all.
Vampire.
Yep. There isn't much that poses a threat to me, like you said. You can keep the toga.
What, you don't want to break the toga? I kind of miss the degree of character customization that we had in these days.
Yeah, like
I mean,
the
yes,
man-
all the faces were cool, but there were so many more clothing options back then.
But one thing I like about Skyrim, and I'm not really sure this is by design, is you can basically have any piece of armor reach maximum, effectiveness. But I can't really tell if that's through a glitch or by design. And this is Bethesda, so it really could be. So we are right now actually in the outskirts of that. See, the blocks kind of go from and the one, right at the edge, those are really for like small rooms like this. Let's see, changing floors and just general dead ends.
Oh, hi. The health bar, by the way, is also a mod.
By the way, he's swinging pretty fast compared to how you start. I might demonstrate that later with the new character, but yeah, this guy is speed, accuracy, and just death by steel.
Or in this case, it's
I mean, it's well, if Skyrim is anything to go by, there's some ebony in there. So knowing how.
Okay, no, just watch out and see what you. Also, anyone who's played Vanilla Daggerfall knows that normally it always says there's luck is nothing to fear from you.
You know what? This is not helping me. In dungeons like this, sometimes it's better just to have silence. Must be said.
Yeah. That, by the way, is not the normal dungeon music.
Yeah.
It's castle music, and since castles are technically dungeons, sometimes it turns up in the random mix.
Yeah. So this is one of my favorite kinds of stealthy.
Ooh, does the candle offer do anything?
Yep.
Okay, I know I've seen them do things before, but
Yeah, sometimes the most random things can be activated in this game. Okay.
usually it ends up being a teleportation trigger.
Also, I think our character is more of a ghost right now than the ghost we're fighting. Too far away.
I did thought you were reaching forward.
Actually, those are worth quite a bit. Huh.
There are many texts here that would be fun to read through, but I'm going to say let's not do that here and now because that would take forever in a video.
Yeah. And y'all have better things to do than listen to me read a text.
Like reading the text yourself, because Daggerfall Unity is, I believe, free.
Yep.
You need to get base at game Daggerfall to get it to work, right? Which is also free.
Yep. Okay. So let's see. I think this will bring us to the other block. Good. So we'll...
Yeah, you're right. Now that you've mentioned it, I see how that works.
Yeah. So this block basically revolves around this
Central
large room.
and then
Yeah. Knowing that, it definitely makes the maps a little easier to read. Because I used to think this was all complete madness.
and it still plays like complete madness, but
Yeah. In fact, there are some blocks like this is an independent block for the most part. But But there are blocks that aren't. Ooh.
Huh.
Yeah, like jumping, I shouldn't be able to jump like that. Yeah, I don't think there's anything actually on this room here.
Yeah. It sounds like someone's dead down there.
Yeah. Well, the thing about that pit, I've seen that about a million times. I don't think there's really a way out.
Climb or teleport.
I mean,
Or
like
levitate.
no real natural way out.
Yeah. Actually, want to see if our Lich friend's in there.
Yeah, he tends not to be.
Yeah, but I swear I've seen one in there at least once, so...
Well, let's continue on. Let's zoom in just a little bit. Kind of still have the jank of having to zoom in like that just to see where you're going.
Mm-hmm. These are still bizarre multi-level maps, so...
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is still chaotic, but it's not as much as I used to think.
Mm-hmm. Now that castle music's gonna be stuck in my head. Little dead end here.
Yep. And I feel like there should be a stairway going down.
Doesn't look like it.
Though, again, that might be provided from the next block.
Mm-hmm.
Since we only kind of glanced at that.
How did we miss him the first time?
Yeah. How much this character is just like a killing machine at this point? This is late in the game.
Mm-hmm. Well, you've beaten the entire main quest already. This is all just
Yeah.
post-game fun.
Yeah. And to be honest, the main quest, to be honest, this might be my least favorite of the entire series. There are some strong points to it, but the individual parts just do not add up to much in the end.
And
I
here
felt.
we are, completely new texture, completely new cell block.
Yeah. Now, I've actually done it where in the settings, you actually have to go into the file and change the text of it. You can switch to, oh, actually, no, this is actually a border
Okay.
block. So
Still a different block, but...
yeah, so border. So and come to think of it,
Let's just see if there is anyone down there.
I always hesitate because I always ended up differently. Alright, well, let's see. This will go. Actually, this might take us to another dead end just to. Yep.
Yep. So let's go look in that hole.
Oh.
Here, there's someone in there. Let's make friends.
Also,
Yeah, you can actually climb down now, so...
yeah, with the
Huh.
what?
There's a teleportation wheel, apparently.
Okay.
So now you know how to get out of there again. There's also a ghost, but... climbing down walls like this was not a thing in the original Daggerfall. Ooh, magical bracelet.
Oh no, I accidentally put that in.
Oh. There is a potion, though.
Let's see what we got.
Shadow form.
Oh yeah, also they're labeled so you don't have to hit info on every single one. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, there's a good number of quality of life improvements in this version.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's an interesting subject of what do you call it? Inconvenience versus feature. Because the glitches are inconvenient, they shouldn't be there. Yeah, there's no arguing there.
But things like whether or not you can repair magic items, that's more of a design feature that feels kind of clunky these days.
Yeah,
And a little frustrating.
Well, what's kind of irritating about it is that simply isn't a thing in the entire rest of the series.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't even that in Arena. I mean, for all of Arena's not so friendliness, that wasn't a thing. Okay, so that's how you get out. All right, so let's see. We want to go east. Then.
Okay. See if there's an eastern door down there.
Yeah. I was giving the design kind of grief, but there is actually some sense to it. Not a lot, but there is.
Now that you know how it works.
Yeah.
It still made it impossible to come up with long-term puzzles for most of the things that weren't hand-built, but you will see some little sub-puzzles within single rooms.
Yeah. Oh, that must be the lich.
That looks like a wraith to me.
I saw one in there. And I can also hear its laugh. Yeah, also...
Lord's Mail.
Mm-hmm.
The army of undead will return to the grave.
But a note.
Let's read this note.
I found a clue at last. I dare not even name the lost artifact of ancient power that it points towards. It is too late for me. I will die here in Shards, lost among its dark passageways. First I will hide my clue. If I cannot... I'm going to guess that's when it happened. Okay. Might
as well take the stuff since you're collecting potions again, or ingredients again. Ooh, what's the recipe?
Let's see. Chameleon form. No, we don't really need. I think I have. Yeah, there is an option to up the AI of the creatures, but that plus the dice rolls don't really mesh all that well.
Yeah.
So that basically is one whole module, and in scale with the map, that's basically 4 of these blips.
Okay.
And again, like I said, at the edges, those are dead ends and like kind of ways of going up and down floors. Mm-hmm. So we'll basically have one there, one here where I'm standing, and then one here. Mm-hmm. And one of my bigger complaints about the game was there was no way to just go east or go north right there. But that doesn't turn out to be true, it would appear.
Not once you know how to work this.
Yeah. So there's still problems with this. Where I'm standing, this could be a cave, or it could be a tower, or it could be a lab, etc., and so forth. Mm-hmm. The types really do not have unique assets to them. And there is an option to have smaller dungeons, which basically consists of one of these modules. Mm-hmm. But it's still kind of random, and I like the challenge of it. What they should do is make more modules of a uniform type. Mm-hmm. Okay, because the cave, when you're in more like cave areas, those look pretty good.
Yeah.
Actually, if you want to look at something really accurate, let me type in this code real quick. Let's see.
Console command time.
Let's see. Map reveal all. Okay. So.
You'll notice there's some bits that don't connect to anything.
Yeah, so this Eschery madness is...
Occasionally they will procedurally generate with the goal objective and something that isn't actually connected to any other block.
Yeah. So, and occasionally you'll have objectives here.
Which, as a kid, the only way to get to those was to forcibly fall through a wall and then cast Levitate.
Well...
which eventually would let you get through there. Then you'd have to go fall through a different wall in the area where it actually exists.
Yeah, another way of doing it, there's like a cheat mode 1 thing where you could cycle through possible objective locations.
Which is true, but I didn't know about that when I was a kid.
Yeah, I looked that up, and frankly, that just takes me right out of it. Because you spend all the time just like exploring every inch of it, and then suddenly, you know, oh, you have to use a cheat code just to win. Okay. Well, you use some of these ingredients at some point, but not right now. Let's see. Those are in good condition, so I might just head over to the next dungeon.
Okay.
So, let's see. Do that again. Shards. Still plenty of arrows. Good.
Got yourself a new Daedric bow, too?
Yep. Okay. What tower was I in? I think I was in Daggerfall. Yep, Daggerfall. Oh, right.
I was going to say, let's put the music back on.
Yeah, now that the dungeons aren't warping out. I'm pretty sure I can go to the Knights.
See if they're still open.
This is the cautious one, too. Wasn't it?
Yeah, you moved cautiously, though. Also, some of the mods are adding people on carts and on horseback, and adding people of other races in as well.
Yep. Yeah. Veterans might be a little surprised, like, wait, why are you talking to her? It's like, no, that's just no right. Dark Elf.
Guy on horseback. It's kind of funny. I'm glad to have the improved draw distance, but at the same time, I kind of miss these buildings materializing out of mist.
Yeah.
I mean, you win some, you lose some.
Oh, sorry, just go.
Well done, your name shall be recorded in histories.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna, let's see, save here.
Okay.
Because, okay, so...
You can't get any more quests until you finish that off, but he is accepting that you destroyed the witch.
So, the time limit, I think, is effectively over.
Okay.
So...
SASH, you get it.
Nice. I forget what you have to do.
We'll find out, won't we? Giants?
Awesome.
This type of
Really?
They really like this one this time.
Okay, so let's see. So we have 4. One on the right here, and then 3 going down. And as per usual, the solution could be right next door.
Yes. You never know.
I forget if it's a wizard or something else. Yep.
That was worth it. Ooh, Daedra.
Now, something might screw up with a mod, and I really won't be able to heal this way, but thankfully I do have potions, so I guess we'll just see what happens.
Since you have no magic, you can't actually heal the normal way.
Well, is magic the normal way?
Dragon Line.
Now, in previous games, Morrowind and Skyrim, is that it?
That bit, but there's a door on the other way, isn't there?
What, is there? Oh! That would be unhelpful.
Yes. Those are weirdly stretched textures.
Yeah, it's like... Oh boy.
Do we have a skill of teleportation or of instant death?
Yeah, it really could be either or.
Let's save before clicking. It should be teleportation, but you never know.
Well, if it isn't teleportation, then I'm kind of screwed anyway.
Yeah. Teleportation, good.
Yeah.
One actually nice thing that this mod provides is a teleportation tracker to show you where it took you.
Yeah, that didn't exist in the old days, and oh god. All right, so
There's another one.
let's see. Well, we'll just put sculpt. Sculpt.
Ah.
Right.
I'll admit, these dungeons actually scared me when I was little, just because we would get so lost in them, and then you lose the quest because you took forever. And there is some degree of level scaling in this game, but not quite. There is a giant, huh?
Well, it's like there's level scaling, but it's always higher than you.
Yeah, so there were a lot of times when you're sitting there, you're armed with silver at best, and you come across an ancient vampire, and that's the end of your quest right there, we'll say that.
Yeah. I, however, am armed to the teeth.
Yes.
At a pretty high level with a lot of things maxed out. Well, like everything to do with hitting something with a sword, I've maxed out attribute-wise.
Mm-hmm. And there's also the point that this game came out in what, 96?
Yeah. So
I was 5.
yeah.
And we played this for plenty of times.
Right.
Ah, new block.
First, I want to see where that skull takes me. Say that out of context. So we can kind of materialize.
No. That's convenient.
Yeah. And that takes me
Back here.
Okay. The lazy way out. Okay. Alright, so I guess that was one whole block.
Oh man, it is kind of nice having more than 6 save slots.
Yeah.
The way we had it divvied up was my brother, sister, and I each got 2. Yeah. One for our main character and one for the questing. Because you never knew when a quest was going to, say, lock you out of a room that you needed to get into.
Yeah. Well, I started using cheat codes because I would spend especially at the beginning, spend a lot of time at... Actually, we want to go back. Actually, what I'm going to do is mark that and mark that, so I know where these things start and end. Because I'll spend an hour or so in this place and literally not getting where.
Yeah.
Hello.
One thing that I observed before about Doom, and that applies here too, really creepy sit brights turning to face you all the time.
Yes. And that was barely the...
Ooh, danger packs.
Sensing a thing.
Hey, sometimes you get a nice room with just a few potted plants.
Yeah. But again, it is kind of random.
Yeah.
And the thing is, random really does not... It's hard for that to convey a structured... And when it's not structured, I don't believe it.
Yeah, in the dungeons themselves, you don't get a lot of environmental storytelling.
Yeah. And actually, let's see, do we want to go down first? Or...
Yeah, let's go down.
The answer could literally be anywhere, so... which is exciting to it in its own right.
Oh, that's right. This one has enemy infighting too. Oh, with the mods.
Yep.
Which is why we saw Dragon Lane just died. It picked a fight with something else.
Ditch the AI. I think they're a lot easier to hit now. I don't want to load myself out too much.
Fair enough.
Ooh, that, on the other hand, is worth it.
I hear a giant.
Mm-hmm. I'll take that. Yeah.
It's a ludicrous quantity of loot.
Yeah, I was gonna do alchemy, but well, you know how you can see the name there? You couldn't in the original.
Yeah.
And basically, that basically meant info that, that.
And they didn't stack, so you had to do it individually for each berry.
Yeah, it wasn't very
User friendly.
It just wasn't good. Like yeah, I don't like to just write things off as just bad because at a point is a matter of opinion, but I'm not going to like it.
I won't claim that this game was always user friendly as the original version.
Yeah.
Like I said, I thoroughly love it still. It's a lot of fun childhood memories. But for someone just getting started, there's very little reason to not use the Unity version.
You'll save yourself a headache.
And if you really just want to get into the Daggerfall experience, this ends up being the more user-friendly way to do it.
Yeah.
Your locking pick improved.
And now we're descending into madness.
Yep. They said these things were organized into blocks, not that those blocks made sense.
Yeah. Oh.
You've been here before.
Oh, did I just not? Where's this go? Hold on. Oh, I must have completely missed this.
Huh.
Alright, so that was my fault. Should have checked that. Since I'm trying to... This is sort of an experiment where can I organize my search a bit more, do like one block, then another block, and so on and so forth. I think I'm mostly successful.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, so...
Also, conveniently, that little green light there, that is the entrance.
Yeah.
And anyone who played the original Daggerfall would remember how frustrating it was when you lost the entrance.
Yeah, well, the sim... There was an indicator there. It was just very hard to see.
It was... The brick was a slightly different color. And good luck picking that out in a crowded dungeon.
Well, okay, it wasn't that. It was just... the sprite they use, in top-down, it was basically flat if you're directly over it. Mm-hmm. And therefore unseeable. Unless you tilted the thing, which a lot of people don't do, because that...
It doesn't help.
Yeah, that doesn't help as much as it should.
I'm going to go with it doesn't help, period.
Yeah. I mean, it does help a little bit now.
Yes, but this isn't the old Daggerfall map.
Yeah.
I do kind of love seeing what aspects of the UI they retained from the original and what they have replaced with more modern graphics.
Yeah. So. Okay. So actually, there is that. Or no, that just takes us up there. Okay. So I think we want to head down.
Yep.
Since what I've been doing, and this is good advice, but basically, every time I came across an intersection, I would take a note of how I got there, either from northwest or south, etc. It's not bad advice. In fact, I probably should have done that.
Well, it doesn't make for the most compelling gameplay footage, so...
I mean, it makes you use what you got.
Well, yes, but we're trying to record as well.
Yeah.
And for some of this is spectacle.
Yeah. I've also made the point in the review that part of my objection with the story isn't the graphics, because some games simply are not spectator sports.
I would argue this one always was a spectator sport, because we had the one family computer, and when we weren't playing, we were watching our siblings play.
Well, yeah, but yeah, a lot of professional reviewers will, mark graphics as an important part, which I don't always agree with. And
to be fair, we would also watch ASCII style roguelikes.
Oh, that's what it was. What am I doing?
Speaking of, at some point I do want to do a Let's Play of some of the ASCII style roguelikes that we played when I was a kid.
I guess my point is, not every game is good to look over the shoulder. I mean, I've seen, basically the same reason, I don't like watching D&D sessions.
Yeah, though I feel like when it comes to games like this, the ones that don't do well over the shoulder are more likely to be, at least in my experience, things that are very simulation heavy, city builders and stuff like that. Those tend to be ones that they're great for the Let's Plays of Let's Break the Game.
Yeah.
But a lot of it is advanced strategizing without much spectacle.
Yeah, and I think one underestimated part of any game is what goes on in the player's head.
Yeah.
And sometimes just watching someone watching a character just go through the motions, it's not the most compelling thing to make.
Mm-hmm. Whereas this, I feel like the older graphic style is, in its way, its own sort of spectacle.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going cross-eyed. Oh, okay. All right.
It's possible to get lost in these dungeons.
That's pretty unlikely.
It's possible to get very lost, and if you have a time limit, to completely fail just because you could not figure out where you were going.
Yeah, thankfully, I don't think we have one.
Yeah, I think at this point it's free running. Ah, there you go.
Okay, so we're back here.
Yep, we're in another block.
It might serve me well to just start from the bottom.
Amusingly, I had... Oh, enemy infighting. I see what's going on.
Yep. Okay, actually, I don't want to dwell too much in here.
Also, just because we keep referring to blocks, I do have Cell Block Tango stuck in my head.
The best thing about that song is quoting it at the most inappropriate times.
I mean, it's compelling in its own right. I remember when I was in high school, some of the people on the dance team actually did a routine to that.
But
Actually, I want you to go back to the other room, and I want to point out a thing on the floor. Other room. There you are. See that blood decal there? When you are sent to go find orc blood or giant's blood, you would have to search the entire dungeon for one of those blood decals. Which could, in fact, be anywhere. It was usually helpfully on an altar or something. But it ended up being incredibly frustrating because they're used as common pieces of dungeon decor.
oh, so those are straps.
Yep.
I was wondering what those were. Anyway. Okay, let's see. Is this... Had not noticed me. Okay, so this is very much a dead end.
I do wonder why why a lot of these creatures just never really showed up in later games.
Well, the giant did.
Mm-hmm.
Very famously.
Yes, he did. But Dragon Ling is never dead.
Yeah. Well, the creators had changed significantly between games.
Yeah, we did end up with very different creative teams.
Yes. And, yeah, as someone who's dwelled in the fourth quite a bit, that is a bit of a point of contention.
It is always fun seeing them come up with throwbacks to older games. I mean, I was absolutely delighted when we were playing Skyrim and I got to hear the in music for the first time.
Actually, a lot of this can be illustrated through one specific video. Folding Ideas, one on World of Warcraft, how it changed.
Yeah.
Because in a way, Elder Scrolls, it changed in a very similar way. Like, World of Warcraft now is very fast-paced, a rush to get to high level, because that's where all the really big stuff is. Where in the past, it rewarded a slower pace, more careful pace. Let's see, we don't quite go there yet.
No.
Well, that's the other section. Okay. And this game definitely is slower paced by nature.
Mm-hmm. To some degree, too, the type of spectacle that you get changes. Part of the fun of this is the fact that it's older with jankier graphics and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, but little meditative things like having to wait for your farm to get prepared for a day. Thankfully, it doesn't cost a week, like it did in Arena. But it still forced you to slow down. In fact, Dark Souls is similar in that, where
take your time.
Yeah, if you die from a boss, you're not going to just start right outside the boss room like any other game. You really have to
go plod your way back.
Yeah, you really have to just take a breath and just like, okay, what am I doing?
And if you're lucky, you'll figure it out.
I do admit, that's kind of like one of my favorite stealth maneuvers in a weird kind of way. Like, a lot of stealth moves are, pre-animated, takedowns.
Mm-hmm.
And
not in this game.
Yeah, and for good reason. It is hard to say, like, animate someone getting grabbed from behind and stabbed in a convincing way, unless it's they put a lot of work into pre-animating it.
Mm-hmm.
But, and I'll demonstrate this because, let's be honest, a Let's Play of Turok Dinosaur Hunter is just inevitable, knowing myself.
Yeah, I would say so.
Basically, one thing you do is it kind of allows for stealthy things to happen, but it's not really a stealth system.
Mm-hmm.
Where you hear the enemy's feet,
mm-hmm.
and you can get the war blades out, and you see behind them, and they kind of get a whiff of you just as you approach, but just as they turn around, you can swing for a headshot.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you don't, you can actually stun lock them until you get a more proper thing. And it's a bit of a fight when that happens, but it's very likely that you'll eventually kill them, being unscathed and saving all your ammo.
Mm-hmm.
And and there's an actual fight. There's more participation in it, and I just prefer.
Also, a fun little thing here. You can actually look through the hour slits.
Yep. Kind of pointless, but.
Well, technically, you can shoot through them.
Yeah. Though, I will say.
Something worth shooting on the other side right now, but.
Okay, so in the original game, you could basically shoot through walls, and that was if a lich was stuck in a wall decoration, that was the only way you were going to kill it.
Because objects frequently do get stuck on random bits of geometry.
But this kind of goes frustrating in the opposite direction, where your shot will get stopped by seemingly nothing. And the bridge behind it. This is Alpha just pointing it out. Just bear that in mind as you continue working. What is an Orc Warlord doing here? Anyway.
Who knows, but your orky skill will improve.
Yeah. I learned languages from murder.
But yeah, one thing that later Elder Scrolls did capture was the value of environmental storytelling in their dungeon design, which just wasn't really possible at this phase.
Well,
though you did have a bit of that back in Arena.
It wasn't
when it was the simpler hand-built dungeons.
Yeah. It wasn't possible with the scale they wanted to go for.
Yeah.
Stuff like, Morrowind, Skyrim, the thing is, environmental storytelling doesn't even have to be that technologically, advanced. It could just be something as simple as, a body, on the floor, maybe fresher than you thought there would be.
Mm-hmm.
Or something like that.
Yeah. I was going to say, I'd say Fallout 4 is actually excellent at that.
Oh, yes. And I imagine the original Fallouts were also, pretty good with it.
At some point, we need to play this.
Yeah. Okay, I think we've basically cleared this out. I forget exactly what I'm looking for.
A clue. Hidden in the dark corridors.
Well, I think it's one of those standing NPCs.
Okay. You can always tell the NPCs that you're not supposed to kill because they're just flat out sprites.
Yeah, you can't kill them.
It's always kind of hilarious seeing them switch into a completely different outfit if they decide to attack you.
Yeah.
Oh, a coffin.
Yeah, this could be background storytelling. I mean, arguably an overused background, but it's still that still to me is background storytelling.
I guess the main thing is, since all these are procedurally placed, the chance to tell a coherent story has kind of been lost.
Yeah,
that being said, I still love it.
Yeah, unless it's one of the pre-made ones, you're really not going to get, much of a story in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, let's stay in the bottom. It'll be easier to read once we get back. Oh, one that's not open. Aha. Suspicious. Maybe.
Ah, water.
You know what? I have a feeling it's going to be under there, so let's just do it.
Okay. Are you doing a water breathing spell on this one?
Well, potion.
Ah, yes.
Also, we're walking to... Really?
You were right. There he is.
A pox upon thee for disturbing me, Eliwood Catherine. By the whole father, of course I know your name. What's the use of being a wizard if you can't know things normal folks don't? I also know why you're here. You want the staff of Magnus, I guess so. Except you didn't know by name, did you? The only way to get it is for you to do a favor for me. Sure. You see, I don't actually know what your artifact is. My great-grandfather once sought for it. According to family history, when he found it, the Mages Guild took it from him and hid it somewhere. His spirit has never rested easy since. If you have this lock of my hair when his spirit is put to rest, he may tell you where to find what you seek. He haunts the tomb of Baragoth.
All right. Well, off we go then.
You have a hell of a water breathing spell, by the way.
Actually, about the time we get out of here, that might be the time to call it one episode, just because these dungeons can take a while.
Yeah, though I feel like I have more of a handle on it than I used to.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt that, but they can take a while still.
Well, maybe let's make it a two-parter.
Yep.
Of course, I know an easy console code way of getting out, but let's not cheat.
Let's do it the real way. Maybe if we're lucky, the next dungeon will have actual dungeon music and not the castle music. We apologize for your ears, listeners.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, yeah, my brother had me listening to kazoo versions of boss themes.
Did he now?
Well, here's the funny part. You know, he like a lot of people, he's working from home, and he has, you know, just kind of like a movie on the background on mute. So we basically watching Terminator 2 on mute. For those who watch the movie, the scene where they break into Cyberdyne. I think it's Cyberdyne. Mm-hmm. No, I think that's from they break into the places making all the robots.
Skynet?
Why did I say Cyberdyne? Anyway.
I don't know what Cyberdyne is from, but Skynet is the one known for Terminator.
I think Cyberdyne is from Perfect Dark, actually.
Okay, I have not seen that one.
Well, that's a game. So, yeah, they're breaking into Skynet. And it's a pretty intense scene, and usually the song is also pretty intense, but now it's by kazoos. It's a boss theme from Xenoblade Chronicles.
Played on kazoo.
And I don't think Mike noticed at first, but he was showing me a song, and I just looked at the TV, and he goes, yeah, this is a great music to watch Terminator with, and we both just lost it. And he replaced it with another one, and as the movie kept going, it just got better.
Yeah.
It was remarkable.
Okay, and there's the Loco hair.
Yeah. Now, I was kind of wondering about, a mechanic where you kind of have almost like a truck that you bring with you to store all your tools. And
Trunk or truck?
Truck.
Okay.
Yeah, since in a way I'm almost like a contractor.
I bet, yes. Hired to go and clear this place out now.
Yep. Also a telescope.
When did you get a telescope?
There's a mod for it.
Okay.
In the alchemy shop of all places.
Huh.
Don't know why. And you walk 2 steps like, oh, there are vampires here. Let me get my kit.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say that seems appropriate considering the D&D session that we just had.
Yep.
Technically it's Fate System, but D&D is the easy word for it.
Well, the funny thing is my character was the monster hunter, but we had the plumber with us.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say the context. In fact, use your imagination on that, listener.
Yeah, we'll just keep quiet on what the actual context of that one was.
Yeah. New Jersey is a fun place. Anyway, so, also another mod, birds.
Also, do you want to put the music back on?
Oh, yeah. So, we will leave you at that. We have been given our hint. And, I guess tomorrow night we can also...
Yeah, why not? Finish up the quest then.
Yep.
Here's our objective for next time. Until then, my name is Eva.
And this is Frank.
We will see you then. Good night.